Hey bro, this video is living in my van vlog. July 13th. So I'm in Portland. I was in Sacramento for like a month and a half or something. And when I went to Sacramento, I went under a whole lot of changes. That's where I bought my year-long membership at Gold's Gym, and I discovered hiking on the treadmill and the Stairmaster while working on the computer, and I was like, boom! So that I started doing that all day long, every day, and stretching while working on the computer, and showering every day, which was really nice. And the gym was right next to where I was camping, and there was this Blockbuster video station there that was giving me free videos, unlimited movies every day for a month. So I was getting all these historical movies and doing screen captures to put on my Flickr page. You can check them out up there. It's cool. To then put on my website, maybe, the Timeline website. And there is a library, a really nice library right there that always had like study rooms I could go in and be in as long as I wanted. And yeah, but then I developed this problem where like my battery would get weaker and weaker, and then the car wouldn't start. So I was like baffled. And I would tell a lot of like people at car part stores and even mechanics, explain to them what was going on, and they're like, I don't know, man. And even people commented on my YouTube page, you know, trying to offer all these ideas. And I remember my alternator passed the test back in Tucson, because I was having this problem back there too, like 6 months ago or something. And I was like, but I was like, maybe there's something wrong with my alternator. It's got to be my alternator, because I remember my battery was died, and then I drove like 20 minutes, or it's what seemed like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes all the way over to this other place to get my battery checked, because I was going to get my RV battery checked, because it couldn't jump start my real battery, and I figured I'd just at least get that battery fixed. And that battery failed, so then I went and I got that battery replaced, and so then that's when I started being able to watch movies again. But my car battery passed the test. So, and then when I started up there, I had to be jumped by my RV battery. So even after driving 15 minutes, my battery was still dead. So I was like, well, in 15 minutes, and all the people at the car part stores were like, yeah, man, 5 minutes, charge all the way. And I was like, it's got to be the alternator. So I bought an alternator, and I took it over to these mechanics, and got all these like welts. It's like poison ivy between my fingers, man. I have no idea where it came from. It's weird. Yeah, so that was like $90 for the alternator, and then like 150 or something for the labor or something. It was like $250 that I spent on that, and then it didn't fix the problem. So I was like, what the hell? So I went over to this like car electric place that was supposed to be really, really nice. I'm cooking up oatmeal right now. Check it out. Oatmeal is really, really, really cheap calories. That's 300 calories right there. A cup. That's 300 calories. So 2 cups is 600 calories. It's really filling, but it's a cheap way to get calories. And it's pretty good if you mix it with like raisins and oatmeal. I mean honey. That's a Safeway right there. So I could go and get raisins right now. Maybe I should get raisins. You see? That says Safeway. This is where I camped last night. I just got up. I got up at like 10:30. I don't know what the deal is. But yeah, I got that fixed, and then I took it and I told the dude at the car place, and he's like, yeah, well, I don't know, because these other car dudes who I didn't know, like, because my tire broke. I got a flat, and I couldn't replace my tire because my like star bar couldn't open up the bolt. I guess they did it too tight when they did put the new tires on my car, like last year. And turn this off. This should cook. And so I got a new tire. I had to get a new tire. I ended up. How did I get the car there? I pumped my tire up with my bike pump, and then I drove it to a couple of places before I finally found a place that had tires. The first tire place wanted to charge me like $150, but then there was one literally right next to it, and they charged me $100. So for $100, I had to get a new tire. I got a new tire on there. But anyways, they referred me to this like really nice but really expensive electric place. And I went in there and I told the dude everything. He's like, I don't know, just make an appointment for next Tuesday, which is like 4 days. So 4 days later, I went in there and I told the dude the same thing I told everybody else. And he's like, what? And he's kind of thought I was this crazy, stupid hippie too, just the way he was looking at me. But then he was like, what the fuck? Dude, driving your car 5 minutes a day isn't going to charge the battery from the juice it takes from starting it. You need to drive it 10 to 15 miles at highway speeds after every time you start it. And I was like, all of a sudden this light bulb went on my head. I was like, of course, that's it. Just that I didn't think of it because everybody's like, what? Yeah, 5 minutes is enough. And I drove that one time like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it still didn't charge. So if it's like really low, like your car's like, it barely starts, you need to have that car running for like 20 minutes. I mean, think about it. Like when my battery was dead and I'd have to get it charged at the car parts place, which happened a few times, it would have to be hooked up to their charger there for like an hour, right? So if it takes them an hour to charge the battery, it would take my car running like that long too. So yeah, I was in a really cool situation in Sacramento where I didn't have to drive at all. And that got me in trouble where my battery was just draining down, and then it ended up costing me $250 because I didn't need to get another alternator. But the dudes who took it out, or when I exchanged the alternator, the guy said it looked like it'd been in there for a while, so at least I have a new alternator, so I guess it's not totally $250 down the drain, but alternators last forever anyways, but whatever. Now everything in my car is new, and I got that problem fixed, yay. And then I discovered this other really cool thing. Like, I was in an awesome situation in Sacramento, but I just had to leave because it was starting to get into summer and I want to experience the Northwest. But at this gym I was at, it has high-speed internet, and it has these plugs that are on the edge of the locker area, so I can like plug my computer in there and upload my little computer videos all day long because it has internet connection. So I could have, I was in a situation where I could have been uploading, making as many videos as I want and uploading them, and then use my big computer up on the treadmill working. So it was an awesome situation. But I was bored one night and I was like, ah, shit, I gotta go. Or my mom actually said that there was some extra money to give to me, so I drove up. But I think it was like 1,000 miles or something or more to get up here. It was a long ways because I need to get an oil change, but it wasn't like really quite time when I left, and now I'm like 1,200 miles past the oil change, and I was like, damn, must be a lot of driving. I did do a lot of driving though, because yeah, I left on like the 6th or something of July from Sacramento, and I went and I want to check out all the national parks of America because they're like the cool nature areas of America. I'm gonna close my door, it's a little bit cold. So I went to Lassen Volcanic National Park, which was out of the way towards the east, and I drove up there, did the video of that, and then I drove to Mount Shasta, and I drove up the mountain and I hung out there for a day, just in the woods, making a bunch of videos and cleaning my car or whatever, and working on my website, actually, working on the site. And then the next day I climbed Mount Shasta, and then I drove that afternoon to way out of the way, towards the direct west, but over like tiny little roads. Like, I should have done the video, but I was like scared because it was crazy. It was the most insane road. This tiny little road, like barely big enough for one car, and it's a two-way road. like on the edge of a cliff, and like cliff all the way down to the river for like 40 miles through this like really weird like intermittent houses and stuff. It was wacky, man. And there were some cars driving up there, like people drive that every day. It was crazy. And then I drove into Humboldt County, driving south, and then I parked to get gas, but the gas station was closed, and my car had been acting funny, like swishy. Then I looked back and my left rear tire was flat. So I was like, fuck, well I hope that this tire doesn't have to be replaced. Because all my tires are new. I just got them like a couple thousand miles ago. And so I camped there. And then I had a shower because I was dirty from the mountain. I had a bath on the river. I drove down to the river. And then, yeah, I got my spare filled up there because it was kind of flat because it's been like 10 years since I'd used it. And then I didn't get the tire fixed because it was a Sunday or a Saturday, so I drove and I did Redwood National Forest. But to drive up there, I went over this mountain and then through like dirt roads way over and then down and saw Redwood National Forest. And there's this one section, it's 8-mile section of Redwood National Forest that's like, it's all this mist. And it says turn your lights on for the next 8 miles. So I guess it's misty all the time, like really thick mist, going through redwoods, huge redwoods. And I looked off in the distance and I saw all this mist and then the light beam shining through. So, mystical place. Like light beams, because you can see the light beam through the mist, through the huge redwoods, and it was really beautiful. It was cold though. Then drove into a town, then drove through the redwoods again, shot the video of that. And then I saw all this... rivers and so many people in like inflatable rafts and stuff going down rivers, like hundreds. It's crazy. And it wasn't near like any big city, I don't think. And it's really beautiful rivers though. Like, look kind of like Colorado. Really clear rivers. Saw this dude do a backflip off a big cliff. And then, drove up and saw Crater Lake, which was up on a mountain, so that was a lot more driving. But and then drove into Eugene. And I was gonna be in Eugene for a month because there's 2 Gold's gyms there, and you can go to a Gold's gym other than the gym you got your membership at for up to 14 times, so that's 28 days. But Eugene is like a small town. It's like Boulder. And I kind of felt like I'd be bored there. I like big cities, man. That's just how I am. I like big cities so I can explore around. But I went into the gym, and it's this tiny little gym. And I asked the dude if they had internet. I had a shower there, and he's like, no. And then I checked, and they did. But it wasn't the password of like what it normally is. Or I didn't know what the password. So I asked him what it was, and he's like, I don't know. Oh, I called the boss, and even I called the other location in Eugene, and they said that they won't give it to me. They won't give it to you for like security reasons. They don't want you to give it off to like the neighbors of the businesses around here so they can poach our internet. And I was like, I go, well, that's part of the feature of being a member of Gold's Gym is that they give the internet's for the customers. He's like, what? I don't know, not here. And I was like, well, can I film myself on the treadmill doing this video? And he's like, oh yeah. So I was like, boom, because other Gold's Gyms said that you can't. So I did that. That was cool. But I was on the treadmill, and I guess I got spoiled at Sacramento. I was like, I can't do this. I can't be on the treadmill, not on the internet. Because when I work on my website, I need internet connection. You know, like for example, right now I'm sorting through battles and wars. But I need to get to the Wikipedia article of the wars and battles and stuff to be able to know like who fought who and where the battles was, because the information I have on my website now isn't complete. I need to constantly revisit to fix it. So I need internet. So I was like, plus it was a tiny little gym, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to Seattle and go up to one of the gyms up. There's like 20 gyms in Seattle, so one of them has got to have internet. So I left Portland, and I picked up a hitchhiker on the way out, this hippie dude, and I was like, oh, I gotta pick that guy up. And so I picked him up and uploaded a video of him talking about how he met aliens. He knows aliens who he's met, because they're really weird. And then I was like, he was like, yeah, just drop me off somewhere in Portland. I was like, hey, I have an idea, because I was gonna drive through Portland. But my brother, a couple weeks ago, I was talking to him. He's like, dude, you got to hang out in Portland. Portland's awesome. It's supposed to be like the #1 bike city in America. And besides, I just kind of felt guilty about just passing through Oregon, because I want to experience all the states and like be in the biggest city in each state for like a month, just to like know it, you know. So I am familiar with every state and every big city. And so, but I was like, hey, I know. Maybe I'll see Portland enough if we just drive around a little bit, because I guess he knew it a little bit. He'd been here, and he said it was kind of like the Amsterdam of America. And I was like, all right, you film from the back there, and we drive around, and then I'll drop you off at your place. So he's like, all right. So he's like, let's go up to this park. I met this dude, and he hooked me up with DMT. We smoked DMT up at that park one day, and I was like, oh, cool. So we drove up to the park, and I was like, wow. And it was a beautiful sunny day. And I was like, oh my God, what's that huge mountain? Mount Hood, but it was like totally covered in snow. It looks huge. And then what's that other one? It's Mount St. Helens. And I was like, oh my God, this place is awesome. And the downtown looked really cool. And there's like lots of like hippie looking people walking around. And it seems like a really cool place. And then we're up there, and then we're looking off the distance, and there are these two other hippies there. And anyways, who are they? Hunter and Rainbow. Alistair's the dude I picked up. Then Hunter and Rainbow. No, Butterfly. So they got us stoned. And then Hunter gave me this big vial of like marijuana, like stuff to put on your tongue. And I got all high, and he gave me one of those. And I hadn't been stoned for like months, so I told them since October. But then I remember I got high once in Las Vegas with these dudes. This other hippie dude who lives out of his van. And yeah, so like Butterfly, after we get all high, we smoke a couple of joints. And I'm like wasted high, like not able to. They told this funny joke. What was it? Like there's this lizard walking down the forest. You know, he's like, hey, what's up? And he looks up in the trees. Like there's this monkey up there. He goes, oh, hey. And the monkey's like, hey, what's up? And the lizard goes, whoa. And he goes up in the trees, like smoking a joint with the monkey, right? And they get totally wasted. And this lizard's like, oh my God, this weed is strong. I'm thirsty. So he goes down from the tree and goes to get something to drink. And then the lizard's walking back, and he bumps into an alligator. And the alligator's like, hey, what's up, dude? You look wasted, man. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, that monkey, man's got the nicest weed, dude. Oh my God. And then so the alligator's like, oh, cool. So he goes up there. He's like, hey, what's up, monkey? And the monkey's like, oh my God, you drank a lot of water. Anyways, when Hunter told that story, I didn't understand any of it, dude. I had to hear the story again from Alistair. He told the story, and he didn't even remember it. He kind of remembered it a little bit and then remembered. But yeah, I was gone. I was like, Anyways, then Butterfly's like, yeah, let's go to Hippie Place. I'll show you Hippie Place. Hippie Hangout. So we walk up up to some hill, and there's like, I counted like 24 hippies in 3 hippie circles doing a hippie thing, you know. And so like Hunter jumps up in the tree. Oh, and Butterfly had this Indian flute, Native American flute, exactly like the one I have. And she said they have drum circles, and she does her flute there under the Hawthorne Bridge every Sunday night. So that'd be cool to go there and do my flute at a drum circle, like at the beginning before it gets drowned out by the drums. That'd be cool. I've never done that before. But anyways, yeah, like Hunter went up on the top of the tree playing the guitar, but on the way there, like Alistair, he's on a band called The Cycle in San Diego, and he's playing the guitar. And like I was so high, but he's like this little dude. And the way he was walking, and like just dressed like a hippie, and the music really good too, amazing. I felt like I was in a music video. Like it's just beautiful. It was just like he'd look great in walking down like a field in a music video. Just like he's just the look. It's just like really funny, dude. But yeah, I was over there at a hippie circle, and there's all these hippies doing hippie thing. And like, I guess there are these like younger hippies over down the way doing fireworks, and the older hippies who we were with were like all pissed off, like stop it. But anyways, there was this one dude named, I can't remember, like Ahum or something, of Southeast Asian descent, and he's like looking at me. He was in a circle, but we sat next to. He kind of turned around. He's like, hey, and I was like, what's up? He's like, hey, the 7 levels of the spirit body, bro, and like started talking about that kind of stuff. But I was like, yeah, I couldn't talk. So I started stretching, and he's like, oh, cool. So he starts stretching, and then the girl's like, oh, you guys are stretching? So I looked at him again, and he's like, yeah, the fluoride, they put fluoride in our water. And starts talking about that. And I was like, dude, you should check out my website. So I told him my website. But anyways, I should go back there and give that dude, or one of those hippies, I have a bunch of alien books, and I'm not reading them, that my mom sent me, and I'm not reading them because I don't read. And they're really good ones. Like one's about aliens in the Bible, and one by Whitley Strieber, and another one called Out There by Howard Blum. So I should go back there, give them my books. But anyways, it was part of this really cool thing up there. So then I drove down and dropped off Alistair and Hawthorne. And then I was in this really cool coffee shop for days, for that day. And then the next day I was doing like pill shots. What are those under the tongue shots? And I was like really high, but I wish if I'd have done that again, I would have just guzzled the whole thing, because that would have been better, just to get totally wasted. But I was all high, and I was like, tall girls. I got really like hyped up about tall girls. I want to like be friends with a tall girl. So I got a membership at Match. It's so kind of expensive because I don't have the money for that. But I wrote like 20 of them or 30 of them or something, all over America. I was like, you're tall, you should make YouTube videos. And then I was like, oh, fuck it. Since I have it, I might as well write like an athletic, like bike racer chick and see if I can like ride up Mount Hood. So I wrote a few of those, but I think Oregon's a little bit different, or everywhere's different than like America. Like, or Boulder, you could do that, but that may be a little bit hardcore if you're like here, because it's like 30 miles out there. I don't know. Boulder, they're just badasses. I get kind of spoiled there. Like, I'm a pretty good biker, but when I go to Boulder, I get smoked by all the girls, like big time. Like, once I was averaging, I got on this girl's wheel, and then she rode away from me, and then we were driving down the road I was averaging 28 miles an hour from Lyons towards like Longmont on that road. There's a little bit of a downhill, but she just rode away from me, and I was like, geez. Anyways, yeah, so now I have the idea to ride my bike up to Mountain Hood and climb it and come back. That'd be fun. But also there's this big trail around Portland that I want to run. It's 40 miles, and see how much I can do that. Because I'm kind of shaped. My feet are in kind of okay, better shape than before, because I was on the treadmill. I wouldn't do it on my glove shoes. I do it on normal shoes, but I want to ride my bike around Portland first. So I'm kind of in a different living in the van mode than I was when I was in Sacramento, because Sacramento I had the gym, and in Seattle I have the gym, but I don't have a gym now, so I'm not showering. I have to get used to that. So I'm gonna do the working out in the park thing and try that with my dumbbells, and then ride around Portland and film it and ride my bike, because I haven't ridden my bike around town like since like ever. Living in my car. I went mountain biking a few times in Tucson, but I got flats, and then the headset popped out, and the bike shop had it for like 4 months before they realized they couldn't even fix it. So my mountain bike is really, you can't go mountain biking on it. If I hit a bump too hard, the headset will fall out, and then it'll cause me to crash. Like, I crashed pretty bad on these rocks, probably because of that reason. So it's more of just a mountain bike that's, you ride around town. You can ride on dirt roads and stuff, but that's about it. And that's the only bike I have right now, because I dismantled my road bike. I have the frame up there still. So I'll ride that course and ride around Portland. So it's going to be kind of changing gears for me. I'm going to be riding my bike around a city and checking it out that way. Kind of like when I was bike touring through Europe. Ride my bike around town and film it. and also working out in the park. So I'll be here for a little bit until I at least attempt that run, see how far I can go, and then do Mount Hood, and then ride my bike out to Mount Hood, and then I'll drive up to Mount what's it called? Mount St. Helens, and then check out Rainier. But I might want to stay here a little bit longer just because I don't have any money. Like, I'm out of money. I can use my credit card though. I owe money on 2 credit cards. Like, one is like $5.50 and the other one I owe like $14.50. And then I owed like $14.50 on another one, but I paid it off completely when I got my tax refund. Then because I paid it off completely, I can start using it again, and the interest won't kick in for a month. So I think I'm going to start doing that. Just start using that again. And yeah, and just see if I can start paying those credit cards down. I haven't really done that. I've kind of been living exactly on the money I get, and the money I spend is about the same. So I'm kind of just paying the credit card bills, but I'm not paying them down. But I have been spending a lot of money, like improving my life. Like, I got a new RV battery, and I got that new alternator. But you know, I'm like, my brakes seem to look like they might need to get worked on. So I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about changing up the gears, and Portland seems really cool. I think I'll do a video about it, but it's like this hippie place. Like, you go in, like, the coffee shop has soy milk and all these like just long-haired dudes all over the place, and people dress like hippies and like hemp. They have hemp stuff at the coffee shop, and just mellow-looking people. Oh, and the city layout is really cool too. Like, you know, you have the supermarket there, and then you have a neighborhood there. So I feel like I can camp out wherever I want here. It's the first place I feel like I could just go anywhere in any neighborhood and camp out, because everything's dispersed and mixed in with each other. Like, not like in a normal city, like Tucson, for example, where you have business area over here, and then over here it's it's obviously neighborhoods of like houses where if you go in there, you know, you'll stand out like a sore thumb. I won't stand out like a sore thumb anywhere here. And plus, there's freaking more VW vans than you can freaking throw a stick at. Like, every block there's a VW van. So, pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know, I'll be here for a while. I want to try working out in the gym, or the park. Plus, it's not totally hot. It was baking hot in Sacramento, and it's like perfect temperature here. And even when it's sunny out, it's not totally hot, it's just sunny. So yeah, anyways, it's kind of a long vlog.